All right, we are back with another tier list.
Tier list.
And today we have serves. Once again, C is average. They're pro players. They're not going to be crazy amounts of below average players.
And also, do you really want us to talk about the below average?
Yeah, what do you want from us? What do you want from us, people? C tier's average. We're judging hard, so we can't put everybody up high. But let's get started with Nicky Boy.
Defensively and offensively, extreme.
Agree.
His serve is one of his biggest weapons. It's one of the reasons why he's had so much success. It is powerful. It is mean. He can pick his spots, and he uses it to set up the rest of his offense. I think that it's not S tier for me by any means, but I think an A level serve. It's elite. It's elite.
He wouldn't have the confidence that he brings to the court.
Absolutely.
Like, you can tell he walks on court and believes in his serve all day long. A plus.
Okay, A plus. We'll move on.
Riley Opelka.
There we are. That's 4 in a row. Done it with an ace. Oh. It's good.
He's one of our favorite players right now. I cheered for him all day, every day. If he won Wimbledon this year, I would cry, probably.
He could do it. Like, he feasibly could do it.
With the beard.
Absolutely.
And he does some sort of, gets maybe a big fine for not shaving.
Does his beard give him 10 mph more?
Certainly.
Yeah. It's borderline God level.
Yeah, it is. All right, so we got Zverev. This is Alexander's second serve, Zverev.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so his second serve, we can all agree, is D tier.
Absolutely.
His first serve is A tier, B plus
It's
tier.
huge. It's a big
really
serve, lots of movement.
Pull it back.
In the pressure moments, he doesn't have it.
My dad used to always say, you're only as good as your second serve. And his second serve is D tier, therefore his serve must be D tier.
Okay, let's move on to Del Bonis. Another man who you can tell by the silhouette that he is playing.
Yes.
This is one of the most unique serves on the tour and one of the weirdest. Not aesthetically pleasing, not very effective.
Holds him back severely.
I would say D minus tier.
Yes, D. Zverev, if you're watching this, know that you're in the same area as Del Bonis. All right.
True.
So Djokovic. Djokovic is a guy who has really improved his serve over his career.
100%. It used to be a weakness.
Huge liability. Speaking of Zverev, he needs to take note of how Djokovic fixed his second serve. For Zverev, maybe it's not as much of a technical deficiency as it was for Novak, but now Novak seems to have every serve. He's got one of the best second serves. Huge kick. He can slice it. B plus to me.
Zverev needs to go to whatever therapist Djokovic
He
went
should
to.
cut out gluten. Oh, the love guru.
FAA and Zverev both need to see the love guru, I think.
Certainly.
I think he's an A tier. I think it's very, very effective. He hits a heavy ball. It's not like the crazy speed that other people see, but he can get aces. He can move you off the court. He hits it, he almost never double faults it. His second serve is extremely effective. I think he's extremely well-rounded in the elite tier. I think it's got to be an A. He's the greatest player of all time.
I'll accept A. All right, Raonic.
30-15. Розыгрыш 40-0. И сам сезон провел в турнирах серии Grand Slam.
I love Raonic.
Absolutely.
Raonic is one of the guys, when I was 13, 15, Raonic was a guy I looked up to. Meeting him was a big deal for me when I shook his hand very meekly in a press conference I did with the Slice, but Raonic is a guy always on the top of the service stats list.
Very cerebral player, sort of robbed by injuries.
But also gets the most out of his game.
S tier. S tier 100%.
Okay, so Alcaraz.
This is his biggest weakness right now.
But it's immensely better than it was 6 months ago.
But that's how it's always going to be. He's 18 freaking years old. The serve is the hardest thing to do as you're growing up as a kid, but he's still in the process of turning into a man. We don't know what his serve is going to be, but right now I think it's like a B tier.
part of it has got to be he's still finding the confidence in that shot, because it's new for him to have like that much speed and accuracy. So
I think he'll need to figure out the serve. He'll need to keep improving it. He can't get complacent and just use it like Nadal did when he was young as just a rally starter.
That was way too stubborn. That's one of the things by Nadal that was too stubborn and should have probably...
Yeah, so as long as he keeps working on improving it, I think he's going to be pretty much A+ to S tier all around soon. So we'll be watching a close eye on Alcaraz, and we'll move on to Stefanos Tsitsipas. I think his serve is really, really solid.
Me too.
Very,
really
very
clutch
heavy.
server.
Very clutch. His mentality is close to second to none amongst his peers in his age group. Watching him play Zverev today at the Monte Carlo Masters, you could just see it wasn't a difference in quality of player, it was a difference in quality of mental preparation.
Certainly.
And execution, and his serve was a big part of that. I think this is at least a B+, maybe an A tier for me.
I think, like, when I look at Djokovic and I look at Stefanos, I think pretty close to reliability and effectiveness. So I'm going to go with A here. Rublev. Not good.
No. C tier.
He hits 2 second serves.
Yes, but he gets them in.
It's just the weakest part of his game, and as Rublev is aging, he's really showing himself to be one-dimensional. He just hasn't made the improvements.
Yeah, he needs to evolve somewhere. I think the serve needs work. I think a lot of things need work, but I don't think it's atrocious. I think C tier is appropriate. And we'll move on to someone who I can't also...
Team.
That's Team.
That's Team.
Team serve is good.
Got one of the heaviest kickers in the game.
I think he fits into that B+ slot.
I think
that's
he's
so
a B+.
lonely.
I don't think he's quite as clutch server as
No.
Stefanos or Djokovic, and maybe sometimes lacks a bit of variety on his serve. He relies on that kick a lot.
I'll put it this way. He won the U.S. Open against Zverev, and in the final, he was so nervous that he was serving about 30 miles an hour. Zverev was serving 25 miles an hour, but he was still serving 30 miles an hour. That means he's not fully confident in what he's doing. I think the B+ is appropriate. And we'll move on to Roger Federer, who I think has one of the most underrated, and I know that's ridiculous to say, serves of the ATP Tour. It is insane watching him play. It's a monster weapon. Not because it's got out-and-out pace, but because he just uses it so intentionally. He can see where you're thinking it's going to go, and he can change it at the last second. He masks his direction really well. He uses it like nobody else, in my opinion. I think his serve is one of the reasons why he's been as successful as he is, even though he's got all those other weapons. I think S tier. I think
S tier. We know he can place it on a dime. 2009 Wimbledon final, he served more aces than Roddick.
And there isn't a shred of doubt in his mind. He's not going to be setting those blistering pace numbers like other people might, but he's
above
it's
that.
It's on the high level as far as speed goes, and then just as far as what he can do with it, I think he's second to none almost.
So we've got 4 players to go in this tier list. Let us know who we've forgotten in the pinned comment below, and give this video a like if you want to see more. So we've got Fritz. Taylor Fritz. This is a crazy picture of Fritz. Fritz has been working on his second serve. It's a lot better. His first serve, he's on the list for like 149 mile an hour. Do I think it's better than Thiem's?
I think it's on that level. I don't think he's quite at the Tsitsipas Djokovic. I haven't seen enough out of it, but I think it's on the level of Thiem as far as a weapon. It's a huge first serve. His second serve is still coming into its own, but he's working on it. I think he could move up soon. His recent results have been showing...
He's passionate. He's real passionate. I cheer for Fritz. All right, so Bublik.
Very solid serve.
Awesome serve. It's basically how he pays his bills.
Yeah.
He's one of the top proponents of the underhand serve. He's hit some...
Is that what's happening?
Yeah,
right
that's
there?
what's happening. He's hit some amazing underhands and some very terrible underhands. I don't think it's better than B+, though.
No, B+, though. That's a very solid. It's knocking on the door of elite. B+ means you are above average, almost elite level. I think that's appropriate for him and for his results. And we'll move on to...
It's her catch. It's Hubie. I think Hubie's serve is the best part of his game.
Definitely. He's on there for fastest serve a couple of times.
Big,
he's
fast
in the
serve.
top 20
He's got good
2 or 3
variety.
times. Looks good.
Looks nice. B+?
B+. And Feliciano Lopez, one of my favorite players. Big, sexy.
Best looking serve.
Best
in
looking
my eye. Best looking serve
man?
ever.
on
He
tour.
does have quite a crooked
He's
nose.
got something about it to
Oh,
just enjoy.
yeah, like
you
his-
know, it's just that
He
flow.
can take care of business.
Absolutely.
Judy Murray calls him Deliciano Lopez for a reason. I think his serve is A+.
Absolutely. I don't think it's quite S tier, but it is one of the nicest serves on tour. A+,
100%.
easy, all day. That wraps up our list. What else do you want to see from us? Who should be on our serve list part 2? We're making these a little bit shorter because you guys don't seem to watch the whole things, but we'll be making more of them, adding more players as we go, developing these things. What other tier lists do you want to see? Let us know in the comments, and if you want to, send us a video of your serve. We'll put you in the TennCom fans tier list. Let's go.
Excellent.